Hey everybody, Felix Stoffelbaker here. I was getting into a thought about the tech boom and how I believe that we're about to experience a new tech boom very soon. And I think that what we're looking at is people not taking a serious look at an investment that could potentially change their financial status, could put them into a financial freedom category that they've never been able to achieve otherwise, with potentially, enormous wealth occurring from a situation like this. So we're looking at a project like EOS that, if you understand the technology behind this, the people behind this, just the way that they do everything is textbook and clockwork, institutional buy me now type of investment. So one thing that happened during the .com bubble that not a lot of people will take into account is the fact that EOS and Google have the exact same initial share offering and initial coin offering mechanism. So they both did a Dutch auction in order to get their stocks and tokens distributed. And this is one of the most fair ways of distribution to ensure that there's an actual fair chance for anyone who wants to be able to get involved and can get involved. Obviously U.S. residents weren't allowed to buy the ICO, and it was based out of the Cayman Islands and all that fun stuff. But once it actually launched, as a U.S. citizen, it was a cryptocurrency. You could buy that after that. It was its own blockchain. So I just think that, people aren't taking that into account when you look at the actual fundamentals of this thing, all the way from the way that they got their tokens or their stocks out, the same. And we see them just handing out the same opportunity. There was a handful of people who took that opportunity in Google. And the same thing with EOS. EOS went from 50 cents when it first came out all the way up to $21. And there's definitely people who got out and have never bought back in. They made a ton of money from 50 cents up to $20, and they'll never buy EOS again. And whenever we hit absolutely crazy numbers, they'll talk about it all day long. Like the people who talked about buying Google early, buying Facebook early. I know a ton of people, I would say more than 10, which is a ton to me, of people who say that they bought Facebook early on. They had a couple hundred shares early on and they just sold it right away or within the first, few weeks or months because it wasn't doing anything. And, if those people held 10 years, if they really had what they say they had, those types of things, they probably wouldn't be working now. So it's just interesting that these same types of things are repeating over and over again. And people aren't taking the opportunity or taking it seriously to be able to achieve what they're trying to achieve, because people talk about what they want all day long, but then the opportunity shows up and they don't act on it. So how do you justify that? I don't get it. So I see all these people who were, in their mid-20s and 30s during the .com bubble talk about all these different things that went on during the time, the way that things unfolded, and what happened at different stages. And we're seeing, this level of cryptocurrency and blockchain play out in much the same way, much similar way to where there was a ton of people invested in the stock market early on in 95 all the way up to 99, even made a lot of money and got out and actually missed the big ones. So it's going to happen in crypto. There's going to be a ton of people who've invested in all these different blockchains who say they're going to do certain things and want them to do certain things, and when it comes time to do certain things, they're not going to do certain things. So people need to take a look at EOS, what that means for the big players going forward and why they're getting involved. And not even that you should get involved, but you should at least look at what they're doing and have the same opportunity. So take a look at EOS and see if it's right for you. Stop a bigger out.